Welcome, Aquarius, wonderful air sign. Welcome to Sweet Tree of Life Tarot. Thank you for joining me today. This reading is for February 2023. Let's go ahead and start your reading. Right here, we have what the issue is. We have the moon. The moon here indicates that obviously the moon does light your path, but it doesn't light your entire path. So you do have to count on your intuition. It actually represents a lot of hidden things, a lot of secret things, things that aren't clear. So you must navigate with care and intuition. So make sure you do follow your gut and to see what's kind of come around. Just kind of be alert and follow your intuition, of course. Right here, let's see what else unfolds. On the number 2 position, we have the Emperor, a major arcana card as well. This is showing me what's kind of driving you forward. Now, the Emperor is known to be having a lot of structure, form. As you can see, everything's very symmetrical, very placed very well where it's supposed to be. So it's definitely about authority and organization, command and control. So it is a time of confidence, but it's also a time with rules, order, and regulations. So there's a lot of order in this one. So let's go ahead and see what has been created. What you've created right now is the 10 of Wands. Now with the 10 of Wands, it shows me you might be overwhelmed and overburdened. It's a time of struggle, maybe taking on too much. As you can see, he's just really having a hard time taking that up the hill. So it's taking on too much. So you're basically taking on too many responsibilities that do come with achievements, right? So if you've achieved something, it does come with a lot of responsibilities that you might have not been counting on. So you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And it's also created a sense of kind of advice on knowing when to stop. So make sure that you're not being overwhelmed. You have to kind of see what you need to do in order to stop, to not have that feeling, right? Now, this secretive moon here could be an issue with your partner, your boyfriend or girlfriend, where you're kind of not seeing things clearly, or it could be a path in your career, path in life in general. So it's definitely something that to be kind of contemplative about. Let's see what else unfolds here. In this position of the energy that's given you to kind of build is that energy of having that childlike wonder, like Alice in Wonderland, going after the rabbit in the rabbit hole. You want to explore, you want to have the new adventures that you want to find. But it does caution, this card does caution you, watch your step before you fall into the rabbit hole, because you want to make sure you're watching your steps so you don't fall in, but still having that sense of adventure within you. Now, what is it that you need to dissolve? Well, we have the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles here is usually one of balance, but right here, because it's something you need to dissolve, it means that you're not having that balance. It's an ability to find that balance or desire to move forward on one's own instead of being in a partnership. So you may be considering not being in a partnership, whether it be at work or a partnership with your significant other. You might be kind of thinking about it for some of you. For others of you, can also signify simplifying and condensing your ideas, making them more focused, right? So, and projects to focus one's energies in one main area. So you want to have that area where you're kind of focusing your energies on, so it's not spread out everywhere. Now, the Five of Cups here, this is what we have is a synergy of this whole cards here, that like the bigger energy created by all the others. We have the Five of Cups. Now the Five of Cups here, kind of a central focus is you might be feeling a feeling of loss, and that might be because you're feeling overwhelmed right now or not kind of seeing things clearly, and you're being in a kind of a structured area, whether it be work, family, or relationship. But right here is like that feeling of loss, that lack of fulfillment, or kind of falling short of a goal that you thought you were going to reach at this time. Maybe the things changed. This card also represents a feeling of emptiness or guilt and despair, but it's definitely showing me that you're focusing on your loss, you're focusing on the negativity, you're not looking at other opportunities that are right behind you. You're focusing on the spilled milk, so to speak, but you're focusing on that without really looking around and seeing, hey, there's 2 more opportunities that are coming my way, and they're right here. So make sure you do look around. Don't stay focused on the negatives, okay? And then as we go to the 7th position here, in the position of victory, the victory card in this area is the 6 of Wands. So see, you can see how he's victorious. He came back, the cat came back with a rodent, with a mouse. He's showing it off. He wants the recognition. He's in a position of power because he's on top of the fence. So it might be a very good time for you where you're feeling a lot of power, where you're feeling a lot of that time and energy has earned you acclaim and respect. But this card also cautions you, make sure that your pride isn't bordering on arrogance, because that could be a failure in getting that victory reached on what you want to reach if it kind of shows more arrogance instead of gratitude. So a little gratitude in that attitude. This is what this card is basically saying at this point. Now, what is it that you want? Well, of course, the Ten of Cups, beautiful card. The Ten of Cups indicates that you're going to be surrounded by love, contentment, domestic harmony, just all these positive things that happen when you have that domestic harmony with you. Now, right here in the trunk of the tree, we have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands here, it indicates how others see you or how you see yourself. This is what is in this position here. The Two of Wands is having those big dreams, having that balance, and a time for seeking and dreaming, but also preparation. So making those plans and looking for those new adventures, which also connects, of course, with these new adventures of the Fool that she kind of wants to go through. Now, what's radiating out in the tree, it's the Tower. The Tower here at the end of the roots is kind of signifying a sudden change or interruption in your path. It's kind of a time of unforeseen events and sudden revelations that are coming up. Maybe a forcible change for some of you, an unwanted one, obviously, because of the Tower. But it is basically a new start, a new beginning. So even though things might look like they're falling apart, they're really falling into place in order for them to continue and open up a new path for you. Let's go ahead here and see what the clarification card, just to get a little bit more clarity. It goes here. It's actually the double. So the double card here in this situation, let's go ahead and read what it usually is, just a major arcana, right? So he's sitting at the table in the shadow of something or someone. And he's also maybe bound by fears or blinded by illusions because he can't see clearly because it is very shadowy. So it's the need to stand up and move away from the darkness of this table and explore the light beyond. This is what this card means. So it could mean either indicating also any kind of vices some of you might be into. Hopefully not, but if you are, getting help for those, or being in a situation where it's toxic as well, trying to get out of the situation. That's why it's saying getting out of the shadow of something, because you want to go towards the light beyond, right? To more light beyond the path that you're on, to a lighter path. So right here, as we read, we also see this is a pillar of severity, and over here we have the pillar of harmony. The pillar of harmony is here. And then over here, the pillar of mercy. So as I go back up the pillar of harmony, we can also recap on what we were talking about, but also take that new perspective, including this new card here, to see how that reads into the clarifying this area for you in your reading. So right here, as we go back up, changes are coming that weren't expected, but it's a new beginning. A new beginning, something must end in order to begin, so things don't technically just fall apart. They usually fall into place to open up the path that you should be leading. Now right here, of course, keep, in order to be victorious, remember, yes, it's good to be recognized, but don't take it to the point where it's arrogance. So if you've achieved something recently, make sure that it is more gratitude and not prideful, not pride that kind of borders on arrogance, okay? Even though you do want that respect from your peers. And then, of course, for love, you want the Ten of Cups. You want a domestic, very domestic, balanced, very loving feeling at home. And of course, with the Two of Wands here, you have those big dreams that you're looking for. You're kind of looking at those new adventures, kind of going and making those plans. But remember to look around other opportunities, because you're kind of feeling stuck here in some situation. If it is with your lover, and you're finding that imbalance, whether it be in work or love. If it's with a lover, this is a Two of Pentacles, which could be dealing with an earth sign. So it could be Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. So it could be one of them that is your lover that you might be feeling a little bit imbalanced with, or it could be dealing with that sign if it's a work-related issue. But there's definitely something where you're focusing on what you lost and not on the opportunities you've gained, or that are still possible for you to gain. But you are still looking for that adventure, but being careful with the steps you take while you're getting out of that shadow and finding that balance again. And of course, doing so by stopping being overwhelmed, because being overwhelmed might not let you think clearly enough to get out of that shadow from that table. And of course, with the structure in the moon here, it is all about that shadow and following your intuition, following that that gut feeling, and of course, any kind of faith you might have to kind of trust in that as well, to light your path, because the moon here is not lighting all your path. It's all about that intuition and gut. So this is basically the reading for this month. I hope you find this helpful, and it gives you a positive perspective of your situation. If you like this reading, please go ahead and subscribe so that I know that you do want me to continue making these readings next month. Thank you again for your time and for joining me. Please click like and share it with a friend or someone that you know that might actually benefit from this reading if they're in a similar situation, hoping that they get a more positive perspective on their situation as well. As always, thank you for joining me today, and I wish you much peace, light, and love in your path. See you soon.